Nobody's being delivered from anything. God ain't doing nothing for nobody right now. Then gee, I wonder why. Because these folks are making it.
There's a video, and it's mind-boggling because, okay, Louis Farrakhan is in Iran for some reason. That's my first question. Question number one, why is the Nation of Islam, why is Louis Farrakhan in the country of Iran? Why are you there? Are you making some type of deal to bring jobs to brothers and sisters in America? Are you asking them, could you have some type of land? See, this is another thing. The Nation of Islam, for 80 years, if you really consider what Louis Farrakhan has built, it's not the Nation of Islam, but just for the sake of argument, we're going to say that what Louis Farrakhan built is also the Nation of Islam. So that would mean the Nation of Islam has been on the scene for about over 70 years, close to 80 years or something like that. And one of the teachings of the Nation of Islam is always, we must separate. We got to have land of our own. Ask the government for 4 states, 5 states, or whatever it was. Now, you know, and I know, that the United States government is not going to give the Nation of Islam or nobody no state. They did not give us, our ancestors. I heard some of us did get it, but we as a whole, they would not give us 40 acres and a mule and a house or a shack or whatever. It's 40 acres and a mule, we know for sure. These selfish, arrogant, have no character, dishonest, liars, criminals, if they would not give you 40 acres and a mule, what make you think that they will give you reparations? What make you think they're going to give you some states? It's not going to happen. Let's see, how long has it been since they supposed to gave us 40 acres and a mule? Where's that Jeopardy music? Da na 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 da 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 na 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 na. It's not gonna happen. So why is Louis Farrakhan in Iran? You're gonna travel all that way for what? So they can discuss Islam and spiritual stuff. You cannot drink spiritual stuff. You cannot eat. You cannot live in spiritual stuff. You have to have something of substance. That's why the Nation of Islam said, we want land that we can call our own. And the Nation of Islam has had lots of money. There are thousands and thousands of supporters and followers. You still sitting your happy self in America. Ain't gone nowhere. You don't have a neighborhood. You don't have a town. You don't have a state. You don't have nothing except mosques, temples all over the country. But you don't own nothing. You got a little bit of farmland that can't feed nobody, can't feed a fly. Got a few schools that can't educate too many folks. All this money y'all got. And you're always begging for money. All the money you beg for every Sunday, every chance you get, the Nation of Islam, like all other religious organizations, always begging for money, never get enough. And we don't see you do nothing except the preacher. And Farrakhan is a preacher. We notice that he gets rich. He can go to Iran and the Bahamas. He can just. Louis Farrakhan said, my followers take good care of me. And some of these followers barely can pay their light bill. Some of these followers ride the bus to work. Oh man, it's bad stuff. And then you have Mosque Mariam in Chicago. Look at the neighborhood. Look at the neighborhood Mosque Mariam is in. Now, if you cannot do nothing in your own neighborhood where you live, what are you going to do for the 40 to 70 million black folks in America? What can you do for them? And you can't do nothing for yourself in your neighborhood. I mean, for yourself, I mean, you got a real pretty building surrounded by this dilapidated neighborhood. What is Louis Farrakhan doing in Iran? Now, this is the thing that gets me. And you probably seen the video. And Louis Farrakhan is having a press conference. And one of the Iranian reporters is asking him a question. And what the question is, or maybe it was a comment, he told Louis Farrakhan, in America, you keep telling the American people that the Iranian people was shouting, down with America, something to that effect. And this Iranian reporter, he lives in Iran, probably grew up in Iran. He's an Iranian reporter. He said that it was the government that started that chant, down with America, or whatever, the great Satan, or whatever, however it was going. He said, you keep trying to say that it comes from the people, and this Iranian reporter said, that's not true. Why you keep saying that, man? That the people didn't start that. It was the government. And Minister Farrakhan didn't like that. Like, he challenged his wisdom. Farrakhan don't live in Iran. Farrakhan is just assuming and guessing because when he saw it, the people was chanting down with America or whatever. He just assumed that it came from the people. And this man, this reporter is telling him that's not where it comes from. The government started that. And Farrakhan, which is very rare, begins to lose his too. I don't like how you said that question. You're trying to trick me. Some crap he said. That was disrespectful what you said. What you mean is disrespectful? I'm just telling you, sir, that the people started that. Also, if you look at the demeanor of Louis Farrakhan in Iran, see, back in 1995, the Million Man March, all this hype and stuff like that. See, unlike y'all, people, after you hype, after you get the little hype over and whatever, you impress people. But see, Iran and a lot of the people, including this reporter, they really are like, what are you about? They see that Louis Farrakhan has done nothing. Here you are, living in America with the Nation of Islam, and you don't see that the Nation of Islam is doing nothing for you. But Louis Farrakhan goes to Iran, and they treat him, they no longer treat him like he thought they should. Now they're bringing questions, and now I'm disrespected. I don't like what you said. No, sir, you're not reveling. You're doing nothing. And he was getting ready to explain and defend himself, his position on what he really don't know. And then the news reporter, whoever was reporting this, the state news, they just cut him off. They normally would not do him like that. But see, brothers and sisters, I know you love Farrakhan. Yeah, but people love crack cocaine also. People love to get drunk. Don't mean it's good for you. The Nation of Islam, under the leadership of Louis Farrakhan, has done nothing. And these people in Iran see that this man means nothing. He's done nothing. And you are impressed by nothing. These people want to see something. They are not impressed by something. So when you go to these videos, they have these titles. Oh, Farrakhan was disrespected and he didn't allow this guy to trick him and whatever. No, Farrakhan is not reveling no more. He means nothing. They're not falling for the hype like you are. They want to see something, and they see that this man has accomplished nothing. He influences nobody. He's a nobody. A big celebrity, nobody. You don't want to accept it. And when you go to Xavier's Day in February, you're going to see your numbers get lower and lower and lower because more and more people are beginning to see that the Nation of Islam, thousands of people, but you're not getting nothing done. And Iran is not interested in your hype. Matter of fact, they probably feel stupid for getting caught up in your crap. You are not a real Muslim to them. The stuff that you talking, they're not impressed by your wisdom. You ought to see that video with Louis Farrakhan and Ward D. Muhammad. Ward D. Muhammad know Islam way better than Farrakhan, and he sat there. It's very rare that you can put Farrakhan in a position where He can't talk. He was almost speechless messing with Wardi Muhammad. Can't touch Wardi Muhammad. You are impressed by height. You are impressed by smiling and this charisma, which don't mean nothing. You are impressed by nothing. And if that's what you want, so be it. But don't complain and don't be crying because you don't have nothing. That's what you wanted. That's what you pray to Allah for. Oh Allah, give me nothing. Well, you got it. You got it.
Poor man in Greenville and in Greenwood and in Chula, Itabena, Cleveland, Holly Springs. You working? No, man, you don't have a job.
Come on, brother minister.
You don't have a job? No, man, I ain't worked in a long time. You got a family? Yeah. Plenty family. Plenty family. But you don't have a job? No. I work for Mr. So-and-so over there, you know. He had me out here picking cotton, and he wasn't giving me no money. I just decided to hell with that. See, a man can't be a man without the power over his own life. Listen to me good. A man can't be a man without power over his own destiny. And as long as white people are in power, they feel threatened to see a black man in power, so they will keep you from power. Listen good, man.
Please, brother minister. Come on, brother minister.
Listen. White people don't want to share power.
Come on, brother minister.
They'll share it with a woman, but never with the black man. When a black man starts coming up on power, that's when their games and their chicanery and their deceit and their machinations begin to work to deprive you of power, because in your power you threaten their existence. So you can't sit around here waiting for the white man to give you a job. He's not going to give you one.
That's right.
We got to sit around and plot and plan how to create jobs for ourselves right here in the Delta.
All right. All right. Come on, brother minister. Sir, come on, brother minister.
The same land that grow cotton for white people, it'll grow it for us. The same land that grow food for him will grow it for us. The same earth that grows timber out of which he makes homes will grow the same timber for us, and we can make homes. The same clay dirt that you can put in a kiln and make a brick, you can make it for yourself. But until the black man comes into the mind of God again and stands up like a man and demands what is our right as a man, then no woman will ever honor us or respect us, because a woman can't respect a man that have no power. Name. So we're going to kill each other over a name. He ain't a Christian. Like the man that's telling you he's not coming to hear me. What have I done? I ain't lynched nobody. I ain't shot nobody. I haven't robbed nobody. Don't lie on nobody. What's wrong with me that they can't come and listen to me? It's because I'm an independent black man. Can't nobody say they are my master but God. I don't bow down to nothing or no one but God. I'm a free black man. I go where I want to go, say what I want to say, and speak as I want to speak. And that's the way all of you should be.
Woo! 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 Man. Y'all know. Y'all know. When I start off that way, it's something that grinds my gears. You know it. Grinds my gear time. Woo. Well, brother, what is it that grinds your gears? Woo, man. Look. Look here. Do you know that this other, I call it the fake Mississippi campaign. There's only one real and original Mississippi campaign, and that is Operation Exodus Mississippi. Prior to March of this year, you did not hear nobody even begin to talk about the state of Mississippi. I don't know nothing about it. I heard that comedian D.L. Hughley, I heard that he was talking about Mississippi. I heard that Roland Martin, that journalist, was talking about Mississippi. And you hear Mississippi getting tossed and turned and flipped around. Now, is that a coincidence? Or is it because we've come on social media and we're talking about the state of Mississippi? Who wants to talk about Mississippi, a poor state that means nothing to nobody? Now, all of a sudden, you hear people begin to whisper and begin to talk about this state of Mississippi. And I heard, and this is what somebody told me, from those who are associated with this fake Mississippi campaign. And I want to tell y'all quite honestly, it's a fake Mississippi campaign, but at the same time, I mean, it's an honor that somebody would be inspired and influenced by what comes from this rostrum. So it's all good. In fact, if all of us began to act in that manner, it's fine and dandy with me. It's cool. My only problem, brothers and sisters, was when you are trying to say that you are the original. See, that's the problem. You the original, and you actually represent the Mississippi campaign from when we first brought it onto the public forum, and then you change it and alter it to make it something that it never was. That's when we have our problem. But other than that, you know, you can take over all the towns you want in Mississippi, all the cities that you want. Take over California. Yay! It's all good. You know, that's not the problem. But now this is what is sad. You have people already who's supposed to have notoriety, supposed to be famous, and they want to give the credit of the Mississippi campaign to somebody that they know it didn't come from. So I am told that Minister Louis Farrakhan is the one who created the Mississippi campaign. Now, there's a video that you can look up. The only thing you have to do is YouTube search Farrakhan, Mississippi, and there's a video where he's talking to the people of Mississippi. I forgot exactly what town he's in, but he's talking to those who are in Mississippi, and he's telling them that they should rule Mississippi. Now, he's not telling them how to do it. He's just telling them that's what they should do. So when you listen to what he's talking about and you hear what's coming from this rostrum, what we want to do with the state of Mississippi, there is no comparison. He offers no plan. There is no idea. It's just a simple, y'all need to do this. He does not offer a how. He does not offer anything. Suffice to say, if Louis Farrakhan is the architect of the Mississippi campaign, and he began to do this in 2015, 2016, you tell me why the Nation of Islam already don't have taking control of a town or a city. What city, what town since 2015-16 has the Nation of Islam taking control of? Does not exist. The only thing Louis Farrakhan done was go to the state of Mississippi, give a pretty feel-good speech like he normally do, take those people money and run. That's the only thing he done. That's all. But you have these people, they want to give Louis Farrakhan the credit. But yet and still, they talk about integrity. They always calling people a liar. Always talking and saying that people are dishonest. That's very dishonest. That's deception. It's a lie. Louis Farrakhan has nothing to do with the Mississippi campaign. If you get all his speeches, how many times does Louis Farrakhan even say the word Mississippi? You're a bunch of liars and deceivers. I want to talk about the leader of the fake Mississippi campaign, Mr. Maurice Muhammad. I have nothing against Maurice. It's an honor that we would inspire him. So I have nothing against him, but you don't need to tell lies, sir. You should be honest. You're the first one that calls people, you're a liar, you're dishonest, you don't have no integrity. But you know Louis Farrakhan had nothing to do with the Mississippi campaign. You know this. You know it's a fact. Prior to March of this year, nobody was talking about or mentioning a Mississippi campaign. Prior to March of this year, Maurice Muhammad was sitting on his channel by himself. That's what he was doing. There was no guest. He was not interacting with nobody until I brought him here. And he interacted with me, and I introduced to those who was interacting with me. And I introduced him to these other brothers on this platform. And that's when he began to socialize and interact with others. When I brought him on my platform, you will see no videos with Maurice prior to his interaction with me. You will see no videos where he was doing anything on his lonely channel. He was there by himself doing nothing. With his initiative, he probably had a radio blog talk show or whatever, but he did not bring that to his channel. You know why? Because it was not inspirational. But then I introduced this concept, this idea of the Mississippi Campaign to Maurice. He heard it and it gave him life. So actually what Angel Snuffed Up 7 done was bring the dead to life, because as long as he was listening to Louis Farrakhan, he could not move. He was not inspired. But when he heard the Mississippi Campaign from this rostrum, this dead man, then he began to move. He was inspired and he got all this energy. Where did it come from? It didn't come from Allah. I don't represent Allah. It didn't come from God. It didn't come from God. I'm not a representative of Farrakhan. But it took this rostrum to fire this man up. Ain't that something? So the least you can do is give this rostrum proper credit. I would tell you all the time, and many of you know, if it was not for the actions of Minister Louis Farrakhan, the Nation of Islam, I probably would not be here talking to you. I tell you that. I give Minister Farrakhan his props. Minister Farrakhan was a wonderful example of manhood when I was growing up. I give him his credit. I give the Nation of Islam the credit for anything of good that it does, but at the same time, as you can embrace what is good, you should also be able to embrace what you view of as negative or bad. So you have Maurice Muhammad on his channel all by himself doing nothing, with the teachings of the Elijah Muhammad still not able to do nothing. But as soon as he got attached, soon as the light of real truth start coming down on him, then he began to move. There's no evidence, none, that the Nation of Islam have anything to do with the Mississippi Campaign. It did not come from Louis Farrakhan. He ain't that smart, because if he was that smart, he would have done something with the Million Man March. He couldn't do nothing with the Million Man March. But also, that's a trademark of Louis Farrakhan. He always starts something and never finish. So the only thing you really done is make Louis Farrakhan look worse, because he always doing things, start things and never finish. But it's just enough so he can go to the bank and he don't have to worry about his bills getting paid, because people like Maurice and a lot of these other folks pay his bills. So to make a long story short, you have somebody like Maurice Muhammad always talking about integrity, honesty. Then you need to give credit where credit is due, because everything that you're doing, if it was not for this rostrum, he would not get in his car and go to the state of Mississippi. This platform, this rostrum, guide Maurice Muhammad. This platform, all of you who are with Maurice Muhammad, we guide you from this place, guide you to the state of Mississippi, whether you like it or not. So you need to give respect, and you need to be honest with yourself and stop telling these lies that Louis Farrakhan created the Mississippi Campaign. That's an outright lie. You know it's an outright lie. You have no evidence except Minister Farrakhan talked to some people in Mississippi and he told them, y'all need to rule Mississippi. And what else? What else goes along with that? I'm just going to take your money and get the hell out of Mississippi. That's what he done. So there is no anger. I'm not upset with Maurice Muhammad. and all those who want to live in a small town. There's nothing wrong with living in a small town. But that does not have no effect on the 40 to 70 million in this nation. If you really want to change and you really want to do it right, you can continue to want to live in a small town, you can continue to do that. But if you really want to change the dynamic, the condition of our people, you need to inspire our people to get on board the soul train and support the original, the father and the mother that birthed what you got right here on this platform. Support Operation Exodus Mississippi. It's as simple as that. If you do not give your father and mother, honor your father and mother, which is here, you're not going to be successful at all. Woo! Y'all know what happens when I do that. Plus, I got to wake up also. Hit me with your bad self. Hear you! Ha! Hey, look. Now, check this out. Check this out. For those who don't know, this is the Reality Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am your host, the mighty one, Angel Snub 7, your soul brother, number one. Now look at this. Now check this out. Okay. What brings me to this video? Now, as many of you might know or might not know, but there's a brother called that calls himself Brother Bakari, and he many of you may know who this brother is, but he's really trying very hard to try to bring peace among those who have beef, have problems interacting, and that's wonderful. That's wonderful to be a peacemaker. I don't have a problem. I cannot make mockery. I cannot be angry at somebody who wants to be a peacemaker. So I am on his channel, and this other fella, the leader of the fake Mississippi campaign, there is only one original, and there is only one Mississippi campaign, that is Operation Exodus Mississippi. Only one. The other one is a fake. Now, the leader of the fake Mississippi campaign, the false one, is this guy called Maurice Mohammed, pork eater, ham eater, Arab wannabe. Why don't you take your Mohammed self, go back to Arabia where you belong? Now look, see what got me fired up. Okay, I'm listening to Brother Bakari. I'm trying to be Mr., trying to keep the peace. So I'm in the chat room, and I'm just giving civil comments. And then this Mohammed, this pork swine eater, because he looked like he eat a whole lot of swine, he talked like he eat a lot of pig, he can't be no Muslim. Why don't you get on a boat, Mohammed, and go back to Mecca where you belong? Because this is America. Don't bring that Mohammed stuff here. Now look, okay, like I told you, I'm just in the chat room minding my own business, and then this Mohammed, he decides, I guess he's reading the chat, and he noticed that I'm in the chat, and he's talking about the Mississippi campaign, which he is not. So he's going to tell the audience, there's 2 Mississippi campaigns. I'm not that other one, that Exodus Mississippi one. They do that swirling integration. If you want to join the Rainbow Coalition, garbage. Now, look, I was going to let that slide. I was going to let that slide, but no, I can't let that slide because I was just minding my own business. Mr. Muhammad, your Quran says that you should not be the aggressor. So you were the aggressor, and your Quran said fight with those who fight with you. Never be the aggressor, but you decided to be the aggressor, so I'm going to shoot back. Boom, boom. Now look. Now while this Muhammad is talking, everything that is coming out of Muhammad's mouth is everything he heard from me. If you didn't know no better, if you don't know what the original Mississippi campaign is about, the only Mississippi campaign is about, everything that is coming out of his mouth, talking about a new reality, a sanctuary city, and sanctuary safe havens, all that come from this rostrum. Mr. Muhammad is not smart enough to come up with an idea of his own. So he's going to steal from this rostrum and change it into some Nation of Islam crap. That's not what it's about, and you're not going to be successful with that, Mr. Muhammad. But y'all keep trying because that's been done before. There's nothing new about it. You keep doing that. And he's giving this, oh, we got people all over Mississippi and they, la-da-da-da-da. We don't see no sign. Where's your evidence? Where's your proof? Where's your evidence? You just talking a good game. What actually do you have? Has yet to show it. I got this and we doing this and blah, yeah, whatever. Nothing but feel-good rhetoric. You might as well go to church. Now look, again, everything coming out of his mouth is Angel Snub 7. Everything coming out of his mouth is Brother Taalik. Brother Taalik and Angel Snub 7 are the creators of the Mississippi campaign. Maurice Muhammad is a thief and had nothing to do with that. He's just one, he's an opportunist. That's all. Without the Mississippi campaign, Maurice Muhammad would be nothing at all for real. Because he's done Nation of Islam for years and years and years. And clearly, he couldn't get nothing going. He's had his own initiative, whatever that stuff is. He can get nothing going on. But then, when he gets with some real ballers, because I'm a real baller, Brother Taalik, we real ballers. Now he steals the concept. Now he think he's a baller. But you're not. If you think it's butter, but it's not, it's probably Maurice Muhammad. Now look. Okay. He's going to call us swirlers. You're going to answer this question, Maurice Muhammad. You against swirling, but you love. Oh, but you love Minister Louis Farrakhan. But Minister Farrakhan has a white daughter-in-law. And Minister Farrakhan does not denounce his white daughter-in-law, his biracial grandchildren, nor the white woman's family. He does not denounce. So Minister Louis Farrakhan supports and advocates and embraces swirling. So if I'm a swirler, then Louis Farrakhan is a swirler. You cannot prove that I advocate or Operation Exodus Mississippi advocates swirling. We advocate freedom, justice, and equality for all our people. No more, no less. There is no promotion of that behavior, nor homosexual behavior. But all our people deserve freedom, justice, and equality. That's all. No more, no less. But Minister Farrakhan clearly supports and advocates and embraces swirling. but you don't put him on the list. I wonder why. Do Minister Farrakhan look cute to you or something? I sort of wonder, because I've never been in love with no man like that before. See, I got women behind me. See, I got women behind me. I'm always talking to women all the time. So you could call me a homosexual all that you want to. But to prove that is a whole different story. Now you on the other hand, you got your nose all up in Louis Farrakhan's backside. Look, hold a second. Get that doo-doo off your mouth, Maurice Mohammed. Get the doo-doo off your mouth. Oh, yeah, that's right. Maurice Mohammed said that he don't advocate homosexuality either. But I don't know. Because Maurice Mohammed, he started wearing this brace, this little girly brace. Got all these beads on it. Hey, Maurice, what does those braids, what do those beads represent? Them balls you got around your wrist. And then Maurice do his hand like this. Every time he talk with that wrist, he put his hand on his chest like this with the balls around his wrist. What do those balls represent, Maurice Mohammed? Does each of those balls remind you of all the balls you done polished off in your lifetime? Is that the reason why you speaking so much about I can't even say the word. Is that the reason why you talk about gay stuff all the time? Because really, do y'all ever see me do my hand like that? And I'll be wearing a girl brace with some balls and some balls on the brace. I don't know. Hey, y'all got me. Hey, y'all got me. Now, so here's a fella. And you know something? I also think that Maurice Mohammed got a problem because he's a little guy. And you know, when you're a little guy, you got to talk all bad and tough because that's called little man simplex, surplex, plexplex, something like that. So he's got to try to be tough because he's a little fella, not that very big. So you want people to think that you tough, all that hollering and screaming and whatever to make himself look bigger than what he really is. Hey, look, I don't know. I think somewhere in Maurice Mohammed's life, he might got turned out somewhere. Because, look, until I met Maurice Mohammed, I've been on YouTube for 11 years. Until I met Maurice Mohammed, I haven't spoke out of the whole 11 years. I spoke more about gay people and homosexuality more than I've ever had in my whole 11 years on social media because of Maurice Mohammed with his hand broke. Talking to you with his hand broke, wearing a wrist with balls on it. Hey, Maurice, I heard that you single. Maybe Minister Farrakhan's daughter-in-law could hook you up with some of her girlfriends at the crack addiction facility. Maybe Minister Farrakhan can hook you up with some of his daughter-in-law's friends, you know, or maybe some of her male friends. This guy know he got a lot of nerve. You in that swirling into the Rainbow Coalition. Hey, yeah, descendants of slaves born in America, we are a rainbow. We have our skin hue is from the very light all the way to the very dark. You right, a rainbow. We are part of the Rainbow Coalition. And if I'm a swirler, if I advocate swirling, so does Louis Farrakhan. And if I advocate homosexuality, you must also, because I don't see no men running around with a bracelet on their wrist with some balls on it. Hey, Terry, this Negro, look, these women, none of these women wearing a bracelet. Well, Cindy do. Cindy got a bracelet, but ain't no balls on it. This Negro gonna talk about homosexuals and actually gonna come on video wearing a bracelet on his wrist with some balls on it. Old girl looking bracelet. Where you get that from? The dollar? He must have got that from the Dollar General store. Oh, wow. Come on, oh, wow. You know, look. Hey, the man threw a shot at me. I'm gonna throw a shot back. There's only one Mississippi campaign, and that is Operation Exodus Mississippi. The rest, anything that you hear about is fake. Maurice Mohammed, that pork eater, that swine eater, that booty eater, he stole that from here. Because he has no originality. He can't think for himself. You have a certain group of folks who are pro-black. They black something. I love my people. I do this for my people. I love my people. You know, they have that type of mindset, but you really don't know what they stand on. What do you stand on? What is it that you believe? The majority of them are faceless trolls. They go from video to video. They don't like Sonetta. They don't like Tariq Nasheed. They don't like Umar Johnson. They don't like our sister China Fox or Cynthia G or Grandma Swirl. Sister Ann, what's up? You know, they don't like nobody. They just go from page to page to complain about Grandma Swirl. They complain about Cynthia G, China Fox, Tariq Nasheed, Sonetta, and the list goes on and on. The Black Authority. They don't stand on nothing. And then when you ask them why you don't like Angel Snupnup 7, why you don't like Tariq Nasheed, why you don't like Grandma Swirl, why you don't like all these different folks, they never give you a real answer. They can't even explain it. And I guess it's difficult for you to explain because people like this don't stand on nothing. And the reason why they stand on nothing is because, they don't want to take the heat from being associated and standing on some type of foundation. I can't say that I support Sonetta because they don't want that type of heat because they know that there are people who are anti-Sonetta. I can't stand with Angel Snupnup 7. You can't take that kind of heat because there's people who going to talk about me. So they're just out here writing silly comments on all these people pages, changing, having all kinds of troll accounts, just because really the bottom line is they're looking for entertainment. They don't stand for nothing. I don't have a leader. As long as we are alive, unless you are the leader, you're going to be a follower. If you are a citizen of the United States of America, you are going to follow behind the president whether you like it or not. You are going to respect the rules and the laws of this nation whether you like it or not. Thus you follow. Well, I mean I don't follow one of these Negroes. And that's your choice. That's your prerogative. I'm happy for you. But you could be following something worse. Because you're going to follow something. The first person that you follow usually is your mother. And from your mother, your father, then you are influenced by your sisters and brothers and friends and relatives and the general society itself. You are a follower. You are a follower because all of us come into this world knowing nothing. We don't know nothing. And so we follow the lead of those who are already present. But it's very cowardly that you come and you cannot stand on nothing. Because you cannot take the heat of being a supporter of Sonetta or a supporter of Umar Johnson or a supporter of Operation Exodus Mississippi or a supporter. You don't want to take the heat. So you're going to try to play this neutral game because you don't have no integrity and you don't stand on nothing and you worse than a slave because you just floating out here. You don't have no plantation to go to, but you belong on a plantation because you're really not that smart. You confused in the mind, don't even know where you want to go. You just a Negro running around here. You know you want to get off the plantation, but you just roaming. You just wherever you just scampering all over the forest. You're not stable. And you're not stable in the mind either. And you want to put yourself in a position, well, I don't follow, I don't believe in Umar, I don't believe in Taalik, I don't believe in so-and-so. That's the position because you want to try to play it safe. Well, you're not going to be able to play it safe because you're going to have to make a decision. You're going to have to stand somewhere. Because if you don't stand somewhere, then you will be one of the many who will be the first ones that will be annihilated. Because you're going to have to stand somewhere. And then some of y'all say that y'all support somebody. You know, I support Umar Johnson. I support Sonetta TV. I support Taalik. And whether you support those men and some of these women, that's all well and good. But your money and your actions speak louder than the words. What do you actually do for them? I support Angel Snup Nup 7. Actually, what do you do for me? I'm with you, brother. You with Angel Snup Nup 7. What do you do for me? You know, I was the manager of a store. And the best employees I ever had was the employees